64 degrees in February. Let's go. Oh, this is unbelievable. It's actually hot in this truck right now. February 26th, and as you just saw, 64 degrees. I am going to launch the boat here to do some walleye fishing. My buddy Kyle is actually driving and meeting me at the landing. He's probably going to get here a little bit later, but pretty excited. I think it has the potential to be a dang good bite tonight. It's been really windy out of the south, so I think that's been keeping a lot of boats off the water during the day, but it's supposed to die down here toward evening, and there's a full moon, and there's been a full moon, which means these walleyes have been feeding a lot more at night. So I'm not ruling out staying after the sun goes down for a bit and trying a night bite. I also have, and I'll show you once I get in the boat, I have a bunch of suckers from a northern Wisconsin ice fishing trip. Actually, a week and a half ago now, with Kyle, who's gonna meet us here at the landing. Had a little weekend doing some ice fishing and had a bunch of walleye suckers on tip-ups that didn't get used. And I've been keeping them alive, and today all of a sudden I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I threw a big walleye sucker down on a live bait rig. Hoping to catch some bigger fish with that. So it should be fun. We're gonna see what happens here. Regardless of how many fish are caught, getting out in the boat in February on a 64-degree day, you really can't go wrong with it. So, I mean, the fish are just a bonus, as my dad would always say. Fishing's always great. Catching is what sometimes varies. So, stay tuned. Should be a fun time out there. Hurry up, train. I got walleyes to catch. Well, while I'm waiting for this train, what else do I need to tell you? Oh, this hoodie, Flannelflage makes this hoodie. If you think it's cool, this pattern is called Mississippi Mud pattern. It's like flannel, camouflage, all in one. I'll link Brandon's stuff down in the description. Lives right along the Mississippi River here in La Crescent, Minnesota, actually. Good guy, so check his stuff out if you're interested. Yeah, should be interesting. I'm intrigued to see if those sucker minnows actually catch some bigger fish. You know, I a lot of times like to use a dead stick with like a rosy red or a fathead minnow, but you know, especially this time of year, the walleyes are still pretty lethargic. Yeah, it's February and it's 64 degrees, but the water temp is still, you know, maybe upper 30s. Like, these fish are not really fired up yet, so they're still not really putting the feed bag on. Like, they're conserving their energy, so it's not like they're gonna just be swimming around like crazy chasing down bait. They're very opportunistic, and they plan their energy for a meal worthwhile, and I think a big old sucker minnow is a worthwhile meal for these bigger females. So, you know, we'll see if that hypothesis pans out or not, but that's what I'm basing it on. While I have some minnows soaking, I'm hoping to also throw some blade baits or plastics also, so should be a good time. My buddies have called this, nicknamed this boat the SS Minnow, and I've fully embraced that name. Eventually I'll be upgrading, but for now I kind of love the fact that I have a crummy old river rat boat. These rollers right now though are pretty big. With this south wind, it's quite a bit, honestly. Some good structure down here, and I personally don't like to fish anything deeper than 30 feet, just to protect the fish from baritron if you're pulling them up that deep. So something to keep in mind. I mean, right here, yeah, there might be fish down there, but no way do I want to fish that deep. So here we just had a major hump come up to about 30. It was down to like 60 and came up to 30. I'm gonna kind of anchor right here. All right, putting this little walleye sucker on a 3-way rig. Gonna drop that down here. What you'll kind of notice here is there's a lot of current to the left of me, and I'm right on this seam. So like I said, it's a little less than 30 feet. And a lot of this current coming from this way is gonna disorient bait. So I'm positioning my sucker minnow right here on this current seam in the slack water. And fish are still lethargic. They're gonna wanna be sitting in this slack water. So that's what I'm gonna have right here. And that's just keeping an eye on that. If I get a bite, I'll open the bail, let it free spool a bit more. In the meantime, I'm gonna be jigging this blade bait, pitching that around on this flat. I just found this in my boat. I don't recognize it. So if you're one of my buddies who fished with me and left this here, let me know, it's yours. The Arizonas are the ultimate hydration. Oh, so what I got here with this rod is, with that sucker minnow, I put my drag really light. And this is honestly just kind of an old crummy rod, but for it just sitting as a dead stick, it's all I need. And if that fish takes it, that's gonna alert me without him feeling enough tension to drop it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that one in the rod holder. Then I'll just come over to it, I'll open the bail, tighten the drag down, and give him the hook set then. And while that's sitting there doing that little sucker minnow thing down there, I'm gonna keep jigging this blade bait and hopefully get thumped on it. The wind is surprisingly not bad. Like, I expected it to be way worse, to be honest. Very manageable right now, and it's only gonna get better as that sun goes down. Eventually, I do think I'm gonna push in shallower, but right now I like this 30 feet closer to current. I think that's where these fish might be hanging out during the day. We'll find out. I don't want to, right now I'm gonna just kind of scout things out until Kyle gets here. For those of you that don't know what a blade bait is, it's literally a piece of metal and weight like a blade. Make sure you don't tie it directly to the line. That little snap is very important for the vibration. But if you really want to know how to fish a blade bait, do yourself a favor and go follow Mike. His Instagram handle's Fishing Mission, and that man fishes pretty much nothing but a blade bait, and he dominates at it. If you watched my last video, you saw him and I got out for a little outing, and yeah, he is the blade bait master, seriously. But essentially, you're just hopping it along. Water's cold right now, so a lot of times people like to overwork a blade bait. Just one or two like little 6-inch hops, like a fluttering bait fish, and then that hang time as it falls back to the bottom is when they're gonna smack it. Well, first fish of the day. Should have been the second, but I pulled the anchor earlier. I was in a move. I pulled the anchor, came back to here. I was gonna go move some spots and just use the electronics and kind of look for some active fish. And my rod tip's bouncing on the set line. Didn't pull the actual drag. So I tightened it up, let him have it, and sure enough, felt again, set the hook, line broke. So I'm not sure what that means. But now that I have the anchor up, I'm just gonna let the current take me wherever I go. I'm not gonna use the trolling motor or anything. I'm just gonna drift a bit. I'm kind of on this current seam, and that's where I just caught that sauger, vertical jigging this current seam with the blade bait. So I'm just gonna do that for a bit, keep an eye on the electronics while I'm going and drifting around. It's unique right now though, because with the south wind, it almost offsets the current. I mean, I'm literally, my jig, you can see I'm no longer vertical because the wind is actually stronger than the current right now. So makes things kind of unique, I guess, in a good way. Like, I don't need an anchor and I'm not hardly moving. But yeah, I'm bummed. The first bite on the sucker, broken line. I only have 5 of those suckers, so we'll see. Hopefully if all 5 suckers turn into 5 nice walleyes, that would be a good thing, but that's my own fault on that one. I didn't have the, I hadn't retied that setup since this fall, which I guess isn't that long ago, considering winter was like, what, a week? I feel like we had a week of winter. And here we are again, fishing in the boat. I'm not sure how much it shows up on the video, but I'm hitting this current seam really well right now. You can kind of see some of the eddies, and the boat is just funneling right into it. And I like to do do drifts like that. It's perfect. I'm staying pretty vertical right now. A rare first pull start for the SS Minnow. Minnow number 2 going down into the depths. Go catch me a big walleye, my friend. I moved in a little bit shallower here. I'm sitting in about 32 feet right here, and it comes up to on a flat. So I'm casting it out shallower and then working it back. There's bottom. Wind is definitely seemed to actually have picked back up, which is weird. Based on how my anchor is positioned there in the front, you can see the wind is stronger than the current here. But yeah, that south wind has water temp at 38.6 degrees surface temp right now, which is pretty crazy. How you guys doing today?
We haven't done a lot. We got one nice perch.
Okay.
How about you?
I just got here a little bit, and similar to you, not much. Couple little saugers, and that's it.
Yeah, but the golden hour is approaching.
That's the optimism of a fisherman right there. There's always that one last cast, you know.
You gotta think that way.
Exactly. That's very important. You're right though, it still could happen. There, see? There you go.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that.
There, double.
Thanks for changing our luck.
You're welcome.
So that's the 3rd one I've caught, and each one has been a little bit bigger.
That's, you know, that's good. Working your way up. In an ideal winter, I'd be ice fishing still right now, but
yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
It's definitely been goofy.
Yeah, it's a strange year.
What did you just say?
I said Papa's here.
Papa's here. All right, all right, Papa. Well, the walleyes are waiting.
I'll see you in a minute.
Yep, see ya.
All right, bye.
Well, on that note, better go get my reinforcements. Oh, Papa's here, he says. I love it. Caught the anchor rope earlier, so that's nice. Gonna have to pull that in when I pull anchor. I might as well just get my light posts right away. Papa has arrived.
Papa's here.
We're getting bigger. Soggy doggy.
Don't look my hand, brother.
Getting a little bigger. The sucker minnow has claimed its first victim. But we need bigger. Oh, dude, nice walleye. Of course I didn't bring a net. We were gonna move. I said one more cast in shallow with the blade bait, and that's where they're at, is shallow. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot, dude. I don't have a net. Let's go.
Thing of beauty.
Let's go. That is a chunky walleye. It's actually not overly big, but sweet. Well, hey, you get back to fishing.
Let's go.
I'll throw 18.75. Beautiful walleye. See ya, girl. You just get thumped? Oh, that was so fun. I was seriously ready to move.
Yeah, might as well keep giving her and see if another. If you go 2 casts in a row, it might touch the line.
Wouldn't be
accepted that.
Wouldn't be the first time that I put on a clinic in front of you below this dam.
Not the first time, definitely not the last time.
Kyle's a pretty good friend to drive all the way here to fish in this crappy boat I have.
The SS Minnow. It's like a brand new Ranger.
Oh, yep, the SS Minnow.
Hey, you know when the bow of the boat is a more comfortable seat than the actual chair, you got a problem. Might be time for an upgrade.
That's saying it nicely. I don't think Rachel would complain either about an upgrade.
Dude, in the like just having better balance.
Oh, I know, it'll happen. Man, I'm trying to just re-visualize what I did there.
Dude, isn't it?
I was kind of losing confidence, and then but these fish, like, water's 38 degrees. It's not like they're cruising around and just hammering. Like, you gotta just flutter that blade bait right past their face.
And then they will shot ski. Beautiful night.
Oh, it's gorgeous. That wind died down. Dude, I need one of these sucker minnows to just get thumped by a big walleye like that. I feel like it could happen.
Yeah.
I should check them in a little bit. They're probably...
How many sauces do you got with you?
Oh, enough. Dude, it's funny you say that. I just caught that one on the blade bait, but I feel like it's not a bad idea to mix it up.
I'll throw a jig.
I'm gonna do 2 more casts with the blade and then switch to the plastic. That's about where I cast it, and I was just little vibrations. Just fluttering up, flutter down. All right, I'm throwing the saucy swimmer. When I was with Mike, he right away started with the blade. John had a blade bait on. I grabbed the saucy swimmer and like second cast, dude.
Does Mike use those same plastics?
I don't, honestly, if he does fish a plastic, I think he fishes the bee fishing paddle tails, which are really good too.
Yeah, the bee fish caught us on a lot of fish. Not by me, but other people.
I'm marking a few more fish on the graph right now, actually, swimming around. Why have my suckers not got thumped? Let me check these. I'm kind of disappointed in these sucker minnows. They haven't been doing their job.
even like.
But who knows if those suckers are just sitting down on the bottom and like hunkering down too.
Yeah.
I probably should have put them on like a drop shot to elevate them. Reeling in the set line, and there was one sucking on it.
Is it a sauger?
It's a little walleye. That was a big sucker.
Man, I got a big appetite, son.
I cannot. What are you doing eating a big old sucker? You should have. Oh, dude, they're spawning. It's doing something goofy. Why couldn't you have... I think I only have two, I think I only have one sucker left. It's saving it for the big boy. Oh, those are nice. Just kind of pulling it back and it just thumped it. Heck yeah. Ooh, that one's close to 19. Beautiful walleye. Right there, saucy swimmers. Cast. Big old sauger. That is a big sauger. Thought that was an eye for sure. 16.5-inch sauger to end the night here. See ya. I lied. It's impossible for me to leave after a fish. Had enough fun.
Not bad, Adam.
Yeah, I want to come back and get redemption on a few more. Good time. Best thing is, it's just starting. Water temp's 38.5. It's only going to get better from here. Thanks for watching. And shout out to Eric from Liquid Willow Cats, man. Those saucy swimmers, they are the real deal. I'll put his information in the video description if you want to order yourself a few.